How do you tell if it's fear or intuition telling you not to do something? It's actually pretty easy. Imagine you're sitting at a restaurant with a cloth table in front of you. If you want to close your eyes while you're doing this, that's fine. I'll just be here. If you don't want to close your eyes, that's fine too. So waiter comes in and he's got the big platter with the silver dome on top and you can't see what's in it. And he places it down right in front of you. As he lifts the lid off, it's a big, huge plate of something you can't stand, like maybe boiled liver. So how would you react? One, you would feel nauseous. You might turn your head away. You would feel that gut feeling that this really is not for you. It's not scared at all. So that is the feeling for intuition. Intuition's a sense. That's why they call it a gut feeling. Okay, now imagine you're at that same restaurant. You've sent the boiled liver back and you're sitting there. You can close your eyes again if you want. So the waiter comes out. He's got another big tray with a big silver dome over it so you can't see what's in it. Puts it in front of you. Lifts the lid off and it is a plate of live gigantic spiders. How would you react? You know, right away. Well, I mean, you'd be really mad too, but immediately you would have the fear. Totally different than the other feeling. You'd jump back, you'd lose your breath, your shoulders would come up, you get tense, your heart starts pounding. Those are all fear. You might even go into an adrenaline response with your heart start pounding, where you get that fight, flight, or freeze. I gotta get out of here. Fear has a sense of urgency to it. So if you think with both, once you recognize those in your body, once you do an exercise like that one, or like another one where you just imagine different times in your mind when you really have not wanted something. Not because you're scared of it, but just because you don't want it. Versus when you've really been scared of something. It's a totally different area of the body. The intuition is low and centered and heavy, and literally you might turn your head, you might avert your eyes. Whereas the fear is an upward, gotta get out of here, heart racing, shortness of breath, and then heavy breathing. That's fear, a totally different thing. Now, what if it's both fear and intuition at the same time? Say to avoid something dangerous. Well, actually, this is, gosh, 25 years ago or so. I remember I was driving with a friend, and it was, you'll know why I remember this specifically. I was driving with a friend, and we were driving on this country road. There was only 2 lanes, like one going this way, and we were on the one coming back. No other cars on the road, it's a beautiful day. We're driving along, yapping away, going back to college, and then I felt really tense, and I felt like my throat kind of tightened up, and then I started feeling a heavy feeling, and I just felt so uncomfortable, like I need to get out of here. So I was the one that was driving, and I noticed there was a side street off to the left, and I just looked at my friend. I could barely even talk. I couldn't get the words out, and I said to her, I'm just gonna turn down this street, and she just looked at me and nodded. So I turned down that street. As soon as I turned down that street, I was like, like I could breathe. And I was like, I don't know, I just got this horrible feeling. She's like, I did too. What I realized was we had both gone really silent. And here's the thing about when you follow your intuition, you don't know. I mean, maybe we both just had some weird feeling right at that moment, but maybe if by turning down that street, we avoided someone who was driving the other way and maybe would have lost attention to the road and had a head-on collision with us. You don't know. When you trust your intuition, you're only gonna see what happened. You're not gonna be able to see what didn't happen. Now, you know, if you've gone against your intuition and something bad happens, you go, oh, I knew, I had a feeling about that. Now, do you really care to find out the bad thing? I don't. I would rather just turn down that street or say no when it doesn't feel right. Just go with your intuition. So those are the basic differences of fear and intuition telling you no. They're totally different. But one thing to consider is if you've had something traumatic, like if you had a car accident and now you're scared to drive because every time you get in the car, you think that you're gonna have an accident. That's probably not your intuition telling you you're gonna have an accident, but maybe you shouldn't just expect that you're gonna go right out and drive an hour like you did before on the freeway. Because the fear alone, if you think what it's gonna do, it's gonna make you tense up. If your adrenaline goes off, you're gonna be hypersensitive and hyperreactive to everything. You might get into an accident just because you're so tense and scared. So even though it's not your intuition telling you that you're shouldn't be on that freeway driving an hour when you're traumatized, it is probably a wise idea to not do that if you can avoid it. Now, to get back into how you used to be after some kind of traumatic experience like that, you would need to desensitize. Desensitize meaning get in your car, sit in your car, breathe, then leave that. That's it for the day. That's good for the day. Another day, get in your car, pull it out back in the driveway, pull it back in. That's good for the day. Start building new positive or even neutral experiences in your car so that your brain doesn't think the last time we got in the car there was an accident. Drive around the block. Another day, drive down the street. Another day, drive to the store. And then one day, go one exit on the freeway and breathe and go just to where your comfort zone is a little bit, you can handle it. You're not off in a big reaction. You're okay. Just stay okay and encourage yourself, nudge yourself just a little bit. That will get you back to where you were safely. And if you have a friend that would go with you, that would be even better. If they can just encourage you, and if it gets too much, you could just stop. They're gonna take care of you. And there's certain things that are outside of just your intuition. Anyway, that was a side note that I wanted to add, because sometimes people say, feel the fear and do it anyway. And that's sort of true. I mean, if you really wanna do something, but you're afraid you're gonna look silly, or you might mess it up, or you might fail, that's when you should do it anyway. But if it's something terrifying, don't do it anyway. I mean, unless it's like you're really scared of bridges and the island that you're on is about to sink and so you need to go over that bridge, then do it. But other than that, if it's not urgent, don't force yourself to do something. Because here's the thing, if you force yourself and terrify yourself again by doing too much, you've given your brain another instance of this is a terrifying experience. That's really not gonna help you desensitize, and it's not gonna help you get back to you. And now I'm thinking of the, if you fall off a horse, you get right back on. Yeah, but that's falling off a horse. I'm not talking about something, if you fall off a horse and you just like bumped yourself, yeah, get back on it. But if you fell off a horse and like broke your hip, you don't get back on it. And yes, you're gonna be scared next time you try to ride a horse. But it doesn't mean you're doing anything wrong. You're just taking time to heal. You're healing sensibly. All right, I think that's it. Oh, if you would like to know more about intuition, I just happen to know of a great book that I wrote on intuition. And what I have in here also is different things, like how we did the little tests with the dome in the restaurant. There's different things that I call the big 20 of different opposite feelings that you can go into. You can do it with closing your eyes and your breathing and imagine one way and then another way. But things that you can go into to recognize how you feel, like how your body talks to you about how you feel about certain things. Like, let me give you an example. Where is it? Oh, please. Red. Disliked or liked, unloved or loved, unappreciated or appreciated. So what you would do in each of those, and there's 20, what you would do in each of those is you would take a deep breath and imagine a time in your life when you felt unappreciated. And then feel how that feels, where it feels in your body. It might feel like sinking, or it might feel that you lower your head. There are certain things that are common, and then there's certain things that are specific to you. But until you go and identify how you have felt, you won't be able to really recognize as well that feeling, what it's trying to tell you when you do those actions again. So appreciated might be, when you felt appreciated, you felt your heart swell, or you lifted your head, or you put your shoulders back. So another time in your life, if you're aware of how you're feeling and you feel your heart swell and your shoulders back, and you go, oh, I'm being appreciated. So it's a conscious awareness of these things that will give you more of an idea of what your body is saying to you through your intuition. Besides just the heavy feeling or the go for it feeling, it can get a lot more specific than that once you learn to translate your own body language. Hope this helps. Let me know in the comments and have a great day.